morning, Lord, I had hunger pain. All I want for breakfast is my good cocaine, cocaine, rolling around my brain. Get up, mama, let's go downtown. Take all the money and look all around. Find the man who sells cocaine. Get out of here, mama, I thought you understood. Got no connections, then you're no damn good. Cocaine, rolling around my brain. Cocaine, cocaine, round my heart, rolling around my brain. Cocaine, rolling around my brain. Come here, mama, baby, come here quick. The old coke's got me and I'm feeling sick. Cocaine, rolling around my brain. Well, coke's for horses, Lord, it ain't for men. They say it kills you, but they don't say when. Cocaine, rolling around my brain. Cocaine, cocaine, round my heart, rolling around my brain. Cocaine, rolling around my brain. Come on, mama, let's rent a boat. We'll sail down to Gibraltar Moat. Shed a tear when we pass Tangier. Cocaine, cocaine, round my heart, rolling round my brain. Cocaine, rolling around my brain.
Ooh, yes, lovely, beautiful.
Thank you. Thank
Absolutely
you.
fantastic.
That's a song about my favorite thing.
Favorite
Cocaine. Joke.
So we just got her out of jail, and it's been wonderful to have you here, Dubh. No, but honestly, thank you so much for coming to the First Airlines podcast.
Pleasure to be here.
One of the most tangible things that I adore about your performances is how you play the guitar. You are amazing.
Thank you
at
very
the
much.
Guitar.
I appreciate that.
So let's get to the roots of it. How did you pick it up?
So I suppose when I was 13 or 14, there was always a couple of guitars lying around the house. My dad could play like very basic stuff, and so he showed me how to play "Walk the Line" by Johnny Cash. I remember, like with the little bum bum bum. Oh well, that's not it, but
How does it go? Oh, there it is.
Bollocks! I can't do it right now. But anyway, thanks, Dad. That's you taught me so much.
Get back to work.
That shit.
Yeah, nice.
And then I just kept plowing along at it myself. I think it was just because I wanted to be cool.
Yes.
And I had like rocker friends that were very good guitarists, and I just wanted to be cool and make them think I was cool.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Nice.
Eventually, years later. But no, and so yeah, self-taught. I've developed some pretty bad habits, which I've only discovered recently. But I just played like guitar and did backing vocals for people for years, and then when I got back from, now I'm 26. I lived in Germany for a year in 2013, 2014. When I got back from there, kind of hit a plateau. Realized I wasn't getting better and was struggling. So I was like, after a while, I was like, I have to stop being so proud. I need a mentor. So for the past year, I've been going to this guy, Hector Castillo. He's a Venezuelan guitarist and he's like sick. And he's been giving me kind of advanced lead guitar lessons. So now now I'm finally improving again, I feel.
That's wicked.
But yeah, I used to do a lot of fingerstyle. So that kind of Townes Van Zandt style.
Very nice.
I used to do all, that was all self-taught when I was around 16 or 17. But yeah, the lead stuff, I just needed somebody to keep, to show me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been, I'm 26 now, 12 years of playing guitar.
Nice.
12 years.
Yeah. That's
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm the very same age, and I have been playing about 12 years as well.
Same, yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
So wait, what age then would that have when you picked it up then?
14,
14,
yeah, about that.
And are you self-taught?
Well, actually, I'd say I could be a bit longer than that.
Yeah.
I started playing the piano first at maybe around 10, and then I thought it wasn't cool enough. So
Tim Minchin has a song about that, Rock and Roll Nerd, where he's like,
Really?
you know, I wanted to be a rock star, but I played classical piano.
Yes,
You know, and like, yeah, I've always wanted to play, keys and stuff
Yeah,
like that.
same as.
Yeah.
I would love to.
But it's not very portable, you know, not as
No.
portable anyway.
Well, that's it.
That's it. Yeah.
And it's actually funny because when we were looking for pianists, they're very hard to kind of come by. Like really,
Pianists.
no pianists.
Same? No,
I
come
said
on.
it right.
Did you say that wrong?
You can't get penises anywhere.
Pianists. Anyway, yeah.
Pianists.
Plural. But yeah, no, it's actually very hard. It's very difficult to come by like amazing ones around in some places. And maybe it is because the guitar is cooler.
That's it. It's cooler. It's more portable. That's it. I think
I love
convenience.
Abuse. That's why I became a drummer. Because they are just the
Everybody
whip.
hates on drummers.
Everybody.
Domestic abuse or just
Any
straight
form
up
of abuse. I just love it.
Interband abuse.
Yeah.
Both of you drum though, no? Just you, just Adam.
No, just Adam.
All right,
I
okay.
couldn't
Adrian can hold a beat now. I will
I
say.
I can hold the sticks.
just about.
Nice.
That's about the bones of it for me. Like,
that's where you got to start, man.
I'd love to be able to drum, but yeah,
Really?
I just obviously that's the one with the biggest barrier to entry because you have to have all this equipment and you have to be able to make a load of noise.
Yes.
That's a fact. Yeah.
And well, actually, my ex, like you said, that he taught himself with just
Yeah.
by doing polyrhythms or whatever. But I don't have the patience for that. I need the
Really?
I need the physical kit. Like,
That's it. But I mean, like even for guitar, especially with plucking and stuff like that, that's obviously very rhythm heavy.
Yeah,
Hugely
yeah.
rhythm.
Suppose when you think of it that way.
So
but
you'd have good timing.
yeah, time. Well, actually, because like I think a lot of singer-songwriters would be the same. Like for years, my rhythm was terrible because singer-songwriters always push and pull as they're performing. You know.
Yes.
So if a song is like it's getting more energetic or whatever, the tempo will just go up and down.
Very true.
I think that's something that when you first go to studio and you have to play to a click, you learn about yourself very quickly. It's
For sure.
I can't play and like I can't keep a steady rhythm at all. So for Virtue, like that single that I released last year, for a month before we went to studio, I was sitting every day playing it to a click, and I always tend to rush everything. So that's like only in the past couple of years I've been like, okay, I need to work on my rhythm.
Yeah. And did you find it obviously worked because Virtue was a great release for you? So.
It was, yeah. It like I definitely don't have as much difficulty with keeping a rhythm now. I did some session guitar work for a rapper called Daly last Saturday in Windmill Lane
know
Studio. You know him?
We know that.
He's
yes.
he's fantastic.
Yeah,
Yes, he is. He's fantastic. He's doing really well, actually.
Yeah, he
Doing
is.
really
Like,
well.
oh my
Yeah,
god,
he's
the new
doing
tracks.
really well.
So he won this 4-star pizza competition, and he got some free recording time in Windmill Lane. You know, up in
Oh, yes,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
and we recorded a 5-track EP in about 8 hours. Like, so
Nice.
we like Connor Donovan on drums, myself on guitar. I did keys, like we tracked some keys afterwards. Shauna Byrne, Lizzie Byrne on vocals,
Lizzie Byrne.
and Macca music on vocals. But anyway, like that, all the session guitar work involves like keeping us being really steady. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
now that I'm doing a lot of session work for people, my rhythm has definitely improved.
That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
When you're a singer-songwriter though, like when you're starting out, you've no concept. Like
Yeah.
no
And
concept.
you obviously got into the session guitarring through Daly, was it? Or were you already doing it?
I had been doing it for Lizzie Byrne.
Okay.
That used to run the Intercollective.
Yes.
Well, she still runs she still does Intercollective events, but it's not every Sunday anymore.
Yes.
But she asked me last year, would I play guitar for her, and I was like, absolutely, yeah, 100%. Because I love playing guitar. I could leave the singing thing behind altogether.
Yeah, really. That's
no.
actually funny. How did you get into the singing then?
So I was saying as I was learning. Like I was always just doing backing vocals for people. I'd be writing songs, but I'd give them to my friend Della. We used to when I was a teenager, we used to sing songs together and stuff. And so I would write songs and she would sing them and I'd just do backing vocals, and I really had no interest in being like the front person of anything. And then when I moved to Germany, when I was in uni, I was kind of like, okay, I don't know anybody here. I definitely still want to perform, so I better start singing. And so I ended up that's how I ended up singing. I was fronting a 5-piece rockabilly band over there.
Nice.
Yeah, like it was like me and 4 German dudes, like double bass, mandolin, harmonica, and 2 guitars.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was class.
Brilliant.
And
That's
so
savage.
that kind of got me into the front woman space. So when I came back to Ireland, I was like, right, okay, I'm gonna work on myself as a solo artist and sing my songs as well. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's curious because I can't really speak for myself because whenever I perform, I'm always with Adrian.
Yeah.
And it's kind of vice versa. Although you have a
Yeah.
lot of singing experience, Adrian. You've a
I definitely wouldn't regard myself as a singer, if I'm honest.
I've never felt like one. I feel like an imposter all the time.
Really?
You Adam does the bulk of the singing.
I do. Yeah, I'd be on the main, but at the same time, it's nice because I'm not independent. Let's say.
Yeah,
I can always turn to Adrian because he's backing me up.
Yeah.
But like as an independent artist doing everything, I can only imagine that's.
It's all right. Like, yeah, I could probably do with a bit of instruction with the singing thing, you know.
Do you think?
Yeah, definitely. But singing lessons are more expensive than guitar lessons.
Focusing, because there's one thing that I absolutely love because we've actually had the pleasure of having Dubh Lee open for us on a couple of nights, and it's
fantastic nights there.
Yes, electric performances as always, and it's always a joy to have you, Dubh. And like one of the things that I've always loved about your songs is your writing. Like even with Cocaine, like how do you write that?
So now Cocaine is a cover.
Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, we can edit that part out.
Yeah, I know my music. Definitely just.
So with the writing, I started when I was 16. I wrote a bunch of songs, and it was always just about. Sorry, ma'am. Sexual frustration, like that's where all that came from. But I think why the lyrics weren't corny as hell for a lot of the songs is because I listened to so much Leonard Cohen. And Leonard Cohen is obviously just an absolute poet, and there's no such thing as a cliche in a Leonard Cohen song. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So and like when I hear obvious cliches in songs, I kind of cringe. So I think that's something I like to stay away from.
Okay.
But like with the writing thing, like I suppose I'll have like really broad influences. So Leonard Cohen would be one of them. Townes Van Zandt, he's that version of Cocaine that I did. That's where that comes from. Townes Van Zandt's amazing. It's kind of like.
And you wrote Cocaine, right?
Oh yes, I wrote it. Yeah,
Savage.
My song. That song has about there's about 10 or 15 different versions of that song by like loads of folk and blues and country artists. So that's.
And where does your allegiance lie then with genres of music? What would be your favorite?
So my favorite personally when I'm listening to music, I listen to hip hop like all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Name, drop.
Hip hop, Jesus. Like I always grew up listening to like the hell out of Outkast, Nas, Kendrick Lamar. I'm absolutely obsessed with Kendrick Lamar. But I suppose that doesn't really inform my playing or my singing at all. They're kind of worlds apart. The Red Hot Chili Peppers were the first band that I ever like absolutely loved. Also not particularly informative of my singing or playing style or whatever. But yeah, I think I listened to a lot of Led Zeppelin then. With the rocker crowd I was into, there was a lot of Led Zeppelin going on for a while. And then even older blues stuff like Howlin' Wolf, nice. Robert Johnson would have been making me want to learn stuff on guitar, you know? Yeah. Or even C6 Steve.
Oh my God.
You know?
Yes.
I used to like just love jamming out C6 Steve stuff. So yeah, that would have probably shaped my early kind of bluesier playing. So yeah, I was definitely bluesy as hell when I was a teenager, and then I kind of went more in the folk direction when I got back from Germany. Like John Prine, I suppose, would be a bit more folk country. I just listened to a good bit of him. And then Leonard Cohen. I just keep coming back to Leonard Cohen. Yeah,
he's fantastic.
Yeah, saw him once in Sligo and Lissadell House, and I cried for 3 hours, like the whole time. I was so, like, I was not sad crying. I am not pathetic, but he came out on stage and I was just so awestruck. Like he's like, and I just started crying out of like just happiness or whatever. And like for the 3 hours, and then I remember I went to the bathroom at one point. And I was like crying in the queue for the bathroom, and a guy turned around and he was like, "Is it your first time?" Oh my God! People were hugging in the audience and crying and shit. It was amazing. I've never seen it. I've never seen anything like it. It was me, my parents, and my uncle and auntie, and I was probably one of the youngest people in the crowd. Wow. It was one of the best gigs I've ever been to in my life. God. Super inspiring and shit. Yeah.
Damn. I need to go see me a Leonard Cohen.
Oh well, he's dead now.
And you wrote Cocaine.
And I wrote
You wrote that.
You can edit all this out.
No. It's staying in. So okay. Come to the point now of memorable moments.
Memorable moments in my music.
Because obviously you do play quite electric and you're quite out there when you perform. You got a lot of attitude.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you all. Let me see. Are there any?
You said before the podcast started that your most memorable moments was supporting us, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah.
Highlight of your career.
I actually really loved that Tourard. How do you say Tourard? Yeah.
Tourard.
That Tourard gig was lovely. 170 people.
Yeah, no, it was nice.
Pretty cool.
Really nice. Yeah. Let me see. Memorable moments. All my gigs are memorable. So
of course.
Yeah.
So what was your third one?
Third most memorable gig.
No, third gig.
What was
If
my
they're all memorable.
Actually,
What
it's
was? Now I understand.
you've been with us like 4 times now, so it'd have to be the 5th.
Yeah. Let me see. Memorable moments from gigs. I'm trying to think. I did a lot of stuff with this band Wob last year. This was brilliant.
Tell
right?
us about it.
So Wob is a drum and bass producer. He's half Irish. He's Serbian Irish. And we did Knockenstocken and Fantastival and
nice,
Valley of the Arts, a few different festivals last year. Anyway, at Knockenstocken, I'm front womaning and I'm playing electric guitar with pedals, so like lots of instrumentally kind of stuff, and it's all really high paced dance music and people are bouncing and it's great, like on the Wishbone stage. And at one point a guy got up like in a tracksuit and stuff, drinking a can, up on stage beside me, and we had finished the song and he came over and he was trying to get the mic off me, and I was like, hang on so hold on there for a second, and he was trying to get the mic off me, and I said, I'll give you the microphone if you give me a lush of your can. And he was like, what? And I was like, if you give me your can and let me drink some of it, I'll give you the microphone. So he gave me the can and I said, now get the fuck off the stage. And eventually, and then the sound engineer had to wrestle him down off the stage. But people were like, yes, queen,
Holy
you know.
hell.
And I felt so powerful.
That's so rock and roll.
I was like shaking in my
yeah.
boots internally, but on the outside I was like, yeah, I know. I know exactly what I'm doing.
Don't let them
That's
see you
actually
break.
fantastic. That's so rock and roll.
I felt amazing.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
My brother was telling people about, I felt like my brother was telling people about it afterwards, and I was like, yeah, I am that cool. That's
Yeah.
it.
That is actually.
It was great,
That's such
yeah.
a cool story.
So you actually did your most recent upload on your YouTube was
That's me having a little noodle around on the guitar, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. You did the loop cover of Wob.
Yes, exactly, yeah. So that was in November. I was just messing around at home with the loop pedal. Well, I'll just be super honest. I was dumped and I was feeling sad. So I was like, I wanted to kind of maggot brain style express my emotions through the guitar.
Oh goodness.
And so that's where that cover comes from. I was just kind of like, what is a kind of a happy song, I was just kind of doing a sad version of it with loops and stuff like that.
That's all. Well, do you mind if we?
Oh please, yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. So here it is. Where I Want to Be, the cover. Dubh Lee.
We spent the daytime waiting for the dark. We spent the weekend drinking in the park. You sang your heart out to me. Your eyes, they looked into me. It's where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. Where I wanna be. We're walking home at 5 a.m. alone. then he just messes with the volume knob on his guitar constantly. That's how he
Yeah,
gets
yeah.
the dynamic, like, you know what I mean?
Where I want to be, Wob. Dubh Lee.
Just in the middle
thank
of
you.
conversation here.
Yeah, I'm kind of raging because that was actually gold. You just nerded out on guitars.
Oh,
there
no.
for a little while. Yeah.
I love nerding out on guitars, actually.
Yeah.
Are you on this Guitarist Ireland like group on Facebook?
I am actually. Yeah.
You know, all the
I am.
memes and all the rest.
Yeah, all the memes, yeah,
Guitar
yeah.
memes, they're great.
Really?
A lot of them are kind of sexist.
Yeah.
It's great. I feel really included sometimes.
Really, do you? Oh,
I know
goodness.
it's okay, not sexist, but there's a lot of memes that are kind of like, I just bought a new guitar and now I have to hide it from my wife. And it's like, come on, like that
Yes.
joke is so old.
Is that still alive,
That's
for
yeah,
God's sake?
yeah. People like once a week at least somebody will post one of
Really?
those silly jokes, like, you know.
Do you ever get a fear with when you upload something that you're like, oh my God, is this any good?
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
all the time.
anxiety.
I always
Yeah.
get that with guitar playing.
I
I'm
have-
like, oh God, because I find that some guitarists, not all, but they can be very like judgmental.
Oh, very
and it's
judgmental,
like,
yeah.
they might
Like-
put it up and go, oh my God, you need to
Do X or Y,
You
like
know,
Echo,
just-
I like
Mumbo
that's
jumbo.
with that song that was just played there, like, you know, there was one note that like it doesn't sound like a fluff, but I didn't bend it the way I wanted to, and then I was like, oh my God,
yes.
maybe I shouldn't upload it at all in my head, like, you know what I mean?
Oh no, it was
Um,
actually magical.
Yeah,
If I do say so myself.
No,
Cheers.
it is lovely.
Appreciate that. Love using the loop pedal because it means you don't have to talk to anybody, have any
Yes.
crew. You can just
Exactly.
play rhythm and lead for yourself, you know.
Yeah. And so, like, when you're live, would you use loop as well?
Yeah, I've started doing that for the past like 6 months. I like anytime I'm playing an electric gig, I'll bring the loop pedal. Sometimes it can go badly,
Yes.
which is the
Yeah.
dangerous thing with
That's-
loops.
yeah.
Yeah. It's only happened once or twice that I've gotten out of time with myself, you know.
Yes, yeah.
It's just the sort of thing that you have to just
Get used to.
just do it so much at home that you don't even think about it when you're
Yeah.
live, you know what I
It
mean?
That's
is.
super true.
Yeah, exactly.
And exactly, even what you were saying back about your point, like singing live and then going in studio, it's kind of the same thing with that. Like,
yeah, totally.
is,
Like,
you
yeah.
just-
I get red light syndrome as well in studio, especially when it comes to
Yeah.
the singing. I can never sing the same
Yeah.
in front of a studio microphone with
Oh,
the
for
red
sure.
light on
Mm.
than like when I'm doing it live, because you don't have the energy to feed off of people.
Yeah.
and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. And if there's one thing, like, especially because we're back into recording now and all that kind of stuff, and the last time personally I would have recorded vocals was back when we were doing the album, which is going back, what, 4 or 5 months now nearly, or at least 4 months I'd say, is it? What was it, like October?
Let's say the start of August was kind of when we wrapped
Yeah.
up to start mixing.
Yes.
Or
yeah,
no,
yeah.
actually, sorry, the end of August
End
was
of
when we
August.
finished to start mixing
So
the album.
it's been that long since I
Yeah.
would lay down vocals, and it's so
Yeah.
funny because when you don't, suddenly you're further back, you're singing in your throat, and
Yeah.
you're not hitting the notes at all. And you're
Yeah,
just like,
doesn't
oh,
feel right.
no,
like
no. You're focusing on every little.
that's the thing you get, because like once when you're singing live, if you make a mistake, it's gone.
It's
you know
gone.
what I mean?
Mm.
But when you're in the booth, like you'll sing something over and over again until it doesn't even feel like the
Yeah.
thing, like it doesn't even sound like it makes sense anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you focus
that
on it.
happened to me today.
Yeah,
What
today.
But
Oh, yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
I've been watching loads of videos on like how to set up
Yeah.
recording and stuff. But a good technique for vocals is set it up as if like it's going to be the finished product. So like if you have any plugins like EQs,
have them running.
set them up,
Mm.
compress the vocals, and put a bit of reverb just so it's nice coming through your cans.
Yeah, that's
And
Yeah.
it
So
it
it does-
actually
it does
it
make a
soothes.
difference.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, a
suits
dry
you.
vocal is one of the most cringy. Listening back to your dry vocal on
Oh,
a track
it's
is like oh
stop,
please
man.
make it stop,
It's
please.
very very.
So that's
Yeah.
a good shout, yeah.
Yeah.
So that it's coming through with reverb in
Yeah.
your cans, yeah. Who does the bulk of the mixing with you guys?
Oh, totally, Adrian.
Adrian,
myself.
okay, yeah.
I've been thanks to
On Windows, on Ableton. No, Pro Tools.
Pro Tools.
Pro Tools.
Yes.
I always found Pro Tools really not user friendly. I don't like how it looks. Whereas Ableton kind of makes sense to me.
I like Ableton
Yeah.
because it's got a lot of pretty colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to use Cubase before Pro Tools.
Yeah.
That's because I got it with the 2i2,
Yeah.
the Focusrite thing. And
Did you go to a course or something that taught you DAWs or whatever?
Well, I studied in Ballyfermot.
Ah, did ya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Prestigious.
We
I
did
have
2
I
years
have a
of.
few friends that did it.
We did an all-round music. So we studied music business, music performance,
Yeah.
and then the technology side.
Yeah.
But we used something called Reason.
Reason. Not Reaper.
In Ballyfermot. No, we used Reaper as well, but
Yeah.
we used Reason was the main software that we used,
Yeah, yeah.
and what it is all MIDI. So you get
Ah.
like thousands of sounds,
Yeah.
and really cool. Like real trumpets happening.
As in what do you call that plug-in? Native Instruments or something? Is it something like that? Yeah. I'd love to know how to do all that stuff.
MIDI
Mixing and recording and yeah.
I'll tell you, I've just started using MIDI myself, and I will say it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
to
sure.
use.
You can just move around everything.
You can move around everything, and what I usually do now to start off a recording is I'd actually play it to a metronome, let's say, and even if it wasn't the finished guitar piece that I'm going to have it on it, I'd play very, very let's say light with the metronome, like an easy kind of strum. Let's say if I wanted something very technical, I'd play a really easy strum to go with the metronome.
Right.
Then I'd put maybe some MIDI piano on, move it all in time, and then I could do the technical stuff afterwards because it's all in time. You're hearing it really well with the metronome as well.
And do you take the metronome out afterwards when you've got the other things?
No, I'd keep the metronome in just for the beat behind it, but it really helps if it is anything like picking or any technical stuff on the guitar. It's actually really
it keeps you in better if you've got the other context.
So then you could take all that out, and then your technical stuff is really well in time with the metronome.
That's a good shout.
That's brilliant. Because we, Justin, when we were doing, because Justin McCann laid down all the keyboard for our album, let's say, and he's unbelievable.
Justin is unbelievable.
Oh,
he hits like 1 million notes a second. So it's actually so crazy because if you're just kind of like, okay, is there a note out or is there a wrong note or do I just need to see something on the keyboard? When you see it in MIDI, you're just like, and you're like, whoa,
class,
the amount of, but it is very, very cool because if you're just like, you know what, maybe we can take this bit out and put in a guitar instead. So easy just to delete it.
Speaking of Justin, I he performed a song with me in Tour Ard. So we're going to do a video of that. I'm actually going to post the because there's an election coming up on the 8th of February, just so you know, public service announcement. Don't vote for Fine Gael or Fianna Fáil, please.
I'm not registered.
You're not registered?
No, I am actually.
I'm moving country.
Are you? No, okay, right, sorry, I was confused.
Just we were going further down the line there.
People before profit, guys, do it. But yeah, so Emerald is this song that I have that I wrote recently, and it's just about frustrations about homelessness and direct provision and just, you know, the government's negligence towards the environment and stuff. And Justin performed it with me when I was opening for the First Day Lions in Tour Ard.
Oh, those guys?
Oh, those guys.
Who are they?
They're really
Go into detail, please.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to upload the video. My mum took a video on her tablet of the performance, so I'm going to upload that before the election, basically. And I'm going to tag you guys and say, because there's a big massive sign that says First Day Lions behind me in the video.
Yeah, we didn't, we could sue you. Yeah.
How obnoxious, huh?
So yeah, that'll be going on my Facebook at thefdlpodcast. Maybe around the 1st of February or something like that.
Yeah, beautiful. And I suppose considering we are talking about future works, have you anything on the horizon?
So what is on the horizon for me when it comes to gigs? This Saturday I'll be playing in Drop Dead twice. There's this new night that's going on, and it's called Softer Stranger Selves, and it's where they take people out of larger bands and put them in like an acoustic guitar kind of atmosphere or whatever. And so like obviously like the band I would have been in is Wob, which I'm not in anymore, but it's just taking me and putting me with an acoustic guitar and singing a few songs that way. And there's like loads of other people playing. I think Wayne Soper, that used to be in the Hot Sprockets, Midnight Wayne is his stage name. He's going to be doing it, and a few other people. So that's on Saturday.
I'm the 25th of January.
The 25th, yes, 25th. I constantly cover gigs every Sunday in the International if you want to come in for a sing song.
Oh sweet, is that upstairs or downstairs?
On the ground floor. And it's perfectly acoustic, and we love getting loads of people in because that means we get tips.
Yeah, we were actually there one of those nights. That was so much fun, man.
So much fun.
Definitely go there. And that's every when, sorry?
Every Sunday from 9:30pm until about midnight, or until the bar staff tell us to shut it down.
So much fun.
So much crack.
So much fun.
And then the only other thing I really have lined up for now is there's a Rory Gallagher, Rory Gallagher's birthday is on the 2nd of March, and I'll be opening for a Rory Gallagher tribute band called Juice. I'm actually wearing their t-shirt right now.
Nice.
In the Grand Social. So that's the 2nd of March. I'm learning a really complicated, well, for me it's complicated. You know Pistol Slapper Blues by Rory Gallagher?
I do.
It's like this acoustic piece, and it's like he's such a bastard. So I gave myself over a month to learn it because it's going to take me that long to get all the little lead bits. It's a banger. So I'm learning that for the Roy Gallagher night at the moment. That's my current guitar challenge.
Oh,
yeah.
Class.
But yeah,
that falls on a Sunday.
That is actually, I think it's a Monday or some weird.
Check your Google Calendar, Adrian.
Check your calendar.
Try and hit that up.
Monday, the 2nd of March.
Monday.
But yeah, like with me, I get like asked to do a lot of last minute gigs. So what you can do is just check my socials.
Where can we get you on your socials?
So,
oh my God.
let me see. What's my name? Yes, Dubh Lee. On Instagram, I'm at thefdlpodcast. Same on Facebook. On Twitter, it's at @Dove_Lee. Got a track up on Spotify there if you want to check it out. And I've got loads of stuff on YouTube if you want to subscribe to me.
Fact.
It's very helpful when people do that.
Indeed it is.
Yeah.
We'll be putting all these links in the description in case people don't like listening to podcasts.
Thank
they
you.
just like looking at the description.
What was I going to say? Yeah, like, because, you know, when people subscribe, the more subscribers you have on YouTube, the more things you can do with your channel. You know the way?
Yeah, for sure.
After I hit
algorithms and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
For sure. And have you ever, because this is an interesting one, especially since from the independent, and I'm sure you've learned to grow with it in time, is like promoting yourself. Have you ever been good at that before, or did you have to grow into it?
Because I studied finance economics in German, so doing businessy stuff, and I worked in finance for 4 years. I worked in Deutsche Bank and various other like financial institutions.
Yeah, you wrote the song about work.
Yeah.
I love that song so much.
So doing that kind of business end of stuff has never been a problem. Booking gigs for myself or whatever. The social media stuff, like now that I've gotten into it, I think I kind of have it cracked. Yeah, I think it's one of those things that's really like annoying initially, but now I actually enjoy telling people what I'm going to be doing every week. You know what I mean? And what's hard is just having a supply of decent pictures of yourself all the time.
That's it.
Yeah, like, you know.
Dubh Lee, Dame Street, 6 weeks.
Dame Street. Oh yes. So other thing that I'm doing right now is my friend Finn Dively, good friend, also another like a singer-songwriter. He fronts this band called Bangers and Cash, and they are absolutely fantastic. And they play in Berlin Bar on Dame Street. Finn's going off for 6 weeks, so I'm going to be taking over for him as the front woman. If you're up for a night of class entertainment, do come in. It's like it just goes mental in there, you know what I mean? People jumping around. They encourage you to be up on the stage. The bar are always throwing out shots and free drink to the performers and stuff like that.
Dangerous.
So if you want a really good show, it is a cover gig, but it's like obscure covers as well. Like not obscure, but not the usual covers that you hear bands doing. You know what I mean? So,
ones that you'd love, but ones that you don't hear all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's like, it's going to be so much fun. We're doing a lot of Iggy Pop and the Stooges and Talking Heads and well, like, you know, just less known
songs that you'd oddly
songs
know.
that you know that you don't know, you know.
Yeah.
That's brilliant.
So yeah, that's going to be the next up until March, basically, in on Dame Street in the
Friday
Berlin
night,
bar.
is it?
Every Friday, yes.
Friday.
Fantastic. Well, I suppose it's kind of getting to that time, Dubh Lee, where you told us that you have a new song.
I do. So the way I write is I do a gig and then I come home and it's like 1 a.m. Everybody else is in bed and I'm like still buzzed from the gig, so I'll just write really late at night. And so a couple of weeks ago I got home from a gig and I wrote this song called Carousel. It's in drop D.
Do it.
And I had been kind of just dying to get back more into the blues thing, so this is kind of a Led Zeppelin style blues.
Nice.
You know the Lemon song by Led Zeppelin? I love that song to bits, and I was kind of like had that in the back of my mind while I was writing this one. So Carousel is just a metaphor for the session, basically.
Oh.
And when you get dumped, sometimes you go on the session. So
Carousel of only one horse.
Yeah. So here we go. I'm going to use a different pick because this one's too.
Would you like it? Oh, you have
No,
one.
I got one. Yeah, I always have a selection of picks in the package
Nice
now.
one.
Okay, here we go. This one gets kind of loud, so I might just move back.
Do it. That's all right.
How does the fucking thing go again? Yeah. I have not been feeling well. I have not been feeling well. I'm so alone it feels like hell. So I jump on the carousel. Had to find something to do to stop me from thinking of you. And Charlie's looking good lately, back on the carousel with me. I'm so alone it feels like hell. You find me on the carousel. been feeling well. I've been feeling low as hell. I remember what an embrace meant. Now I just hug my instrument. I'm so alone it feels like hell. You'll find me on the carousel. There was someone I could tell. Instead I ride the carousel. People ask if I'm alright. Winter's been one long cold night. Dyed my hair and pierced my ears. Keep on moving through the tears. I'm so alone it feels like hell. You'll find me on the carousel. Whoa.
God damn, that was so wicked. Oh my God.
Something like that.
You weren't kidding about loud. Like, I just peeked over.
Oh my God.
No, not in a bad way. I think we're good. But that was so epic.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
It's still a little bit sloppy, obviously, but it's something like that, yeah.
Oh,
It's a bit of a Jimi Hendrix.
Do you like?
Yeah.
I was feeling because the riff from that song, the Lemon song that I was talking about, goes like. So you got that chromatic thing going on, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I had in mind when I was writing the riff for Carousel. And also, this one's an E, which is just at the very top of my range. And so when I drop to D, I just have that little extra bit of space at the top, you know?
Yes.
Which I clearly fucking need because there's a note or two in there that is very difficult enough for me to hit.
So cool. And so
Brilliant.
what are you hoping to hit the studio soon?
Oh
Start
man,
recording?
I can't wait to go back to studio.
Yeah.
It's just expense, is the main thing that's getting in my way.
Yeah.
Expense and getting the right crew together.
Right.
I want to get some shit hot drummers and bassists and shit.
Definitely.
Obviously, need to, before we even look at studio, go to rehearsal space and just hash out. And so I have a bunch of songs that need to get recorded. That song Work, that was about when I used to work in Deutsche Bank and stuff. That's what I was planning on doing next. But now that I have this Carousel song, I'm just so excited about it. I want to do it like full band, like full distorted guitars and fucking everything.
My God.
So I should really record the songs I wrote before I go do the new song.
Like,
but
I'm
anyway.
a huge fan of Work.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore Work.
People love that song. Everybody hates their jobs,
So when you get into, like, say, studio, like, you're saying that it'd be one song kind of a thing or whatever.
Well, yeah, I'll probably do just a couple of singles, 2 more singles before I go and do an EP.
Okay.
Just because of the expense involved with the EP. I think, the way, like, an EP is such a large, like, to me it feels like a large undertaking. And then sometimes, you might go record an EP, release it, and then like a week later nobody knows anything about it, like, you know what I mean, like, unless you really have the budget for promotion. So what I think that my plan is to release a couple more singles, generate a bit more buzz about me,
right,
and then if I can crowdfund an EP and then properly do the PR and stuff like that.
That's it.
So I want to show people with a couple of singles that I've got some really good shit in there, and then when I go to do the EP, then hopefully I'll have a lot of support and demand for it.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're growing your audience then as well by releasing the singles.
That's
and
it, and they're so much more easy to market. Even though publications don't give as much of a how do I say this stuff without cursing?
Continental.
Publications like music mags, Golden Plaque, whatever, they care more about EPs and albums. But like when you're starting out, like when you're a relatively new artist like me.
Yeah.
Or yourselves, even like I think singles are handy. But you guys have a full album. Yeah.
Well,
fair.
yes.
It's been fine. We are kind of delving into the world now of promotion and stuff.
And did you get more attention, do you feel, with the full album?
It's funny, we did really, really well when the album came out. We were delighted with it, and we were kind of shipping it to Australia and America and all that kind of stuff. And that is it. Like, it is kind of a source of income as well.
Yeah.
You go to your gigs and you have a piece of physical material that people
I need
can
to
purchase.
get some merch, man. People love merch.
People love merch. Because like, I know for me that when we you go to gigs that are like even open mic or kind of like session gigs where you're highlighted artists and stuff like that, I love if I hear like an amazing artist, I want to buy something, I want to support them or whatever, and I think that's
it.
It's nice to be able to give people the option if you have that. But it's also, I mean, like, this is where like a promotion team is definitely handy, because the album came out and it was doing really, really well, and then we didn't have other material to bring it up. Now granted, we were going into the Christmas season, but still, so that's why right now we're planning on just creating so much content. We already have.
That's what you need, a constant stream of content on all your platforms.
It really is.
It's exhausting.
It is exhausting.
It's tiring stuff. But I think like that's why at the moment, say for us, and I'd say for you as well, is just you're kind of taking this time to build up the content, so that way suddenly when you hit it, you're able to follow it up with something within a reasonable time after.
Exactly, that's what you need.
So, but I mean, like, Dubh Lee, we wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
On your views to come. This was so much fun.
Thanks so much for having us.
Oh man, come back anytime, guys. You've been my favorite podcast guest so far this year.
No, but seriously, this was so much fun, and
absolute pleasure.
Naturally, we'll be putting all of the links to see Dubh Lee in the description of the video that you're listening to this on. Thank you so much for hanging around. If you want to send us or forward us on any of your work, you can get us at thefdlpodcast@gmail.com. That's
thefdlpodcast@gmail.com.
We do
One
this
more time. The FDL podcast at gmail.com.
I feel like we should definitely we should have rehearsed that. Let's
do it one more time, so edit it in. Right?
Okay.
So 1, 2, 3. The FDL podcast at gmail.com.
Well, there we go.
That is your jingle.
Our first commercial. Well, we're going to get royalties. So thank you so much, Dubh Lee, for coming.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Here.
Have a good one.
We'll see you guys around. And end song.
Do you need to clap at the end?
No, we don't need to do the sync here. But we can do the canned laughter.
Well, I actually meant a clap so that you could see where the end of it was on your waveform, but we can applaud.
Let's make it hard for me.
We did it. And now do another one so I can put that underneath it. Woo! Nice. Peeking like a motherfucker.
Oh shit, sorry.
No, you're fine. Alright, well that was so much fun.